It's time for Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
A look at the weirdest stories from our weirdest state.
It is a bit odd that a man driving a Dodge Ram pickup truck drove it into the surf at New Smyrna Beach, and Albert is showing it to you now.
Albert, thank you.
I'm be willing to bet my lunch that
I'd be willing to bet my lunch
Yeah.
that there's alcohol involved.
I would think so, but you can see him, a New York guy, joyriding in the Florida surf. Cops say that he circumvented, which is a ding word, a closed gate to drive onto the beach to begin with. Jason Bruskowitz, 49, driving his Dodge Ram pickup truck into the surf just before 9 a.m. this week.
That truck is never going to smell the same.
He in a booking photo, looks kind of happy.
I thought it would have stalled out by now.
Yeah, it is impressive that it's like he just
commercial for Dodge.
He's committed to it. These serpentine and now a full circle, and now he's head on into the surf.
And not just a little bit either. I mean, he's in there.
Yeah.
It's surprising. You tried a donut in the shallow water, but you can see once the lifeguard showed up and once the cops showed up, they grabbed him, and he told them, quote, "I wanted to drive on the beach." Okay, well. He also said, "It's not my fault the truck don't surf."
Oh, gosh.
And he says, "I'm going to get in trouble for this?" Yeah. So there is the sheriff's back and forth with him.
If you want to do that, you can drive on the beach in Australia on Fraser Island. I did that. That's pretty cool.
Well, driving on the beach you can do in Daytona Beach, Florida. But
Legally?
the idea that you drive into the surf, I think that's a different deal.
Well,
here's the reason you have to put warning signs up. The obvious warning signs, like don't drive into the water. Don't drive onto the beach.
because he's going to acknowledge that sign.
Bonehead.
Yeah, someone like that, you could have all the signs in the world, and
Have
he's
fun with
driving
your
over signs on it.
Have fun with your corroded truck.
Florida guy, a Florida man, racks up over $31,000 in charges on his company card to purchase what? Scratch-off lottery tickets, everybody.
All right.
Yeah. He wanted to turn it into big money. Warren Alexander Johnson charged with conducting a scheme to defraud between $20,000 and $50,000 from his company.
Ooh, it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
Yeah, you could turn that into real money, then you return the money to the company, and they don't even, they're none the wiser.
Not everybody gets a company credit card, and this is why.
He's in Clearwater, Florida. He was arrested this week after he was caught using a company credit card to purchase over $31,000 worth of scratch-off lottery tickets. Pinellas County Sheriff's Office records show that Warren Alexander Johnson, shown here, 47 years old, has been charging these scratch-off lottery tickets to his company credit card. And he is a truck driver for All Phase Paving. And apparently all the phases...
Not anymore.
all the phases didn't include buying lottery tickets. Yeah.
So does Kim have a company credit card?
I have the Mark Thompson American Express.
That gets you in a lot of places.
We have to pay it off every month, and he keeps a very close eye on what I'm spending.
It may get you in places, but I doubt it can allow you to buy many things.
There's no company credit card up in here. No way, man.
Do you think they let him off if he actually hit on one of those? Like, I'm just making the company money here.
Yeah, right. If he'd actually maybe come up with some sort of plan to pay back the company, but no go. No. It was Half Moon Bay, right there in the Bay Area, where authorities ID a Florida man who stole the plane that he then ditched on the beach. Luis Gustavo Ares of Miami landed the plane just south of Poplar Beach about 5 p.m. This is right in San Mateo County. We have pictures of it now.
That's a pretty good beach landing.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean,
The Niners colors too with the airplane. That's nice.
yeah.
I think Mark thinks he could do better.
I think he could do better. I don't think I could do better. The FAA said the only pilot of the single-engine American champion Citabria 150 was this guy. He was the only one on board. He was booked into the main jail in Redwood City on suspicion of theft of an airplane. So,
Brought us Florida crazy to California.
yeah.
He was probably
From
just trying to
Miami.
get to that Taco Bell in Pacifica.
That guy.
The one that's right on
Ooh,
the
the cantina. Yeah, they do
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a cantina there.
Yeah.
Albert knows.
Next time. Yeah, maybe they'll...
Albert, thank you.
yeah.
Let's steal a plane.
Kangaroo is caught hopping around a Florida apartment complex. A runaway kangaroo. This is certainly not something that is a likely sight in Florida. More and more exotic pet stories do show up, regrettably, and this is another one. Somebody called 911, and here it is. Video of the kangaroo as it was spotted hopping around the pool area of a Florida apartment complex.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kangaroos are native to Australia. They can grow to almost 6 feet in height. I mean, they can get really big.
And they can be aggressive too, right?
Sure. You've taken them out of their home court. You put them on, in an apartment complex. It's awful.
They're very
feel
Right now
muscular
it's
and
mating season,
strong.
and they're hungry.
I feel for the guy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in St. Pete, yacht burglaries may have snuck yacht. Wait a minute.
Yacht burglars?
It must be. A Florida transient is accused of breaking into several yachts in downtown St. Petersburg. Also suspected of stealing several bottles of wine from a sundry store at the Renaissance Hotel.
That's kind of
And
smart.
staying unregistered in one of its rooms. I mean, I got to say, that's the hat trick for Russell Riker, who
Ooh, it's a wild idea, but it just might work.
apparently it did.
Willing to bet your lunch?
He's accused, most certainly.
I'd be willing to bet my lunch that there's alcohol involved.
And it's mating season and they're hungry. The same day that Riker is accused of entering several yachts in St. Petersburg, he is accused of using the hotel as his place to crash. He's seen in surveillance video climbing aboard one of the yachts, and then he snuck on the boat through an unlocked door, went into the captain and crew quarters.
I am the captain now.
Yeah. He's been charged with burglary and petty theft, but I like the fact that they spell petty P-E-T-I-T, which is really... Yeah.
Petite theft.
Yes, petite theft. Florida woman, 78, sadly dies after surgical robot burned a hole in her intestine
Oh, Grandma.
during colon cancer surgery.
Awful.
And she was killed right there on the table. I mean, that's a,
What?
I know, it's a pretty sad story. It's pretty dark, as Albert was saying.
Here comes AI.
Electricity leaking from the robotic arms was the result of faulty parts, according to a lawsuit. And this Da Vinci robot, as it's called, has been involved in over 20,000 reports of adverse events. So this is not the first problem with the Da Vinci robot.
Is
This
this made by
robot that's
Boeing?
used for surgery. Yeah, made by Boeing. Boeing.
We're missing a few bolts.
Entering your life every way we can. A surgical robot burning a hole in this Florida woman's small intestine. She was 78 years old from Boca Raton.
That can't be a fun sight. You know, they wheel you in, you look up, and you see this like octopus-looking robot.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And the
Everything is going extremely well.
right.
It's horrible.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the doctor? Oh, we don't need a doctor for this. We've got the Da Vinci surgery.
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
Exactly.
And you get a free plush toy when you're done.
Right.
No.
Unreal. It really sad. We're laughing, but this is just terrible. I feel awful about this. Well, this is remarkable. A 38-mile chase. A Florida man leads the deputies on that long chase and then reveals he has a child in the car.
Oh, no.
Wait, not one child, 2 young children in the car.
What?
Timothy Breedlove of Altamonte Springs, charged with fleeing and 2 counts of aggravated child abuse. 3 counts of imprisonment and all that stuff that they do, or they add on this and that. The whole thing went down on State Road 415 in Deltona. You know where that is, John.
Oh, of course.
Continued into Sanford. And there he is. Breedlove was also issued citations for fleeing, running a red light, having an expired registration, driving with a suspended license, etc. They tried to pull him over when they noticed his registration was expired. And then he sped up, started to weave through traffic and headed north on State Route 415 to State Route 44 and then up to I-4, you see. And 38 miles later, deputies getting frustrated, Kim. I mean, it had been 38 miles, my God. Let's end this.
Guy's got grit. I mean, that's a long one.
Yeah. They deployed stop sticks, which eventually stopped him.
It's a wild idea, but it just might work.
It's a wild idea that they should have done before 38 miles went by.
Yeah.
He was fleeing in a white BMW. And the stop sticks worked, caused the BMW to come off of its rims, and deputies discovered kids in the car.
Oh, poor kids.
That's a commercial for Stop Sticks.
It's
When you need to stop a car, Stop Sticks. Don't wait 38 miles.
Yeah.
Stop Sticks.
And we end Friday Fabulous Florida with this news. A patient arrested. That's right. Hospital patient arrested at famous complex.
The Villages.
The Villages is what we were looking for. Yeah. A patient arrested after lifting his gown and, quote, jiggling his genitals.
What?
While standing at the entrance to the
Villages?
The Villages
that's
Hospital.
a good welcome.
Yeah.
Oh.
Darren Malinsky, 51 years old. That's a lot of years of jiggling your genitals.
Come on,
He's
Darren.
been discharged from the hospital, but he was still wearing his gown when he was standing at the entrance. It was 6:30 a.m., so Saturday morning, and lifted his gown, showing his privates.
Jiggling his junk.
Yeah.
Is he a
And was
resident?
asked-
Because he's kind of young for the Villages.
Yeah, you're right.
Unless he's the
And he
first in
has
the class.
he has youthful jiggling materials, apparently, that he can't wait to show off to people.
He got some of that Tiger Vroom Vroom or whatever that pill was that they were selling on.
He was asking passerbys, I don't know if I can say this, but I'll just read the paragraph as written. He lifted his gown, quote, showing his penis and testicles, and was asking passersby to check his balls. That is a quote. He was seeking opinions as to whether they appeared to be swollen. A woman who was visiting the hospital was among those to whom Malinsky exposed himself. Some of the witnesses interviewed said that Malinsky, who stands 5'7" tall and weighs 230 pounds, was jiggling his genitals when he lifted the gown.
That's really
He
funny.
was-
Yesterday on the after party, I had to say the P word, and I shared a story with Kim that I was designated by Mark Thompson to say the P word on KGO because you didn't want to say it, and she didn't
I do
believe
not
me. And
like
I said,
to say it.
And I said, Mark is very proper. So
I don't know
will allow
certain things that both the P and B words there. I don't like genital to say the words, but
We're on YouTube now, baby.
I guess I'm going to have to just grow up.
Doug says, just another day at the Villages.
Malinsky was arrested, charge of indecent exposure, and he awaits a trial. Now, we don't like...
Edward says, boom, demonetized.
Yeah, we're on a day we celebrate the 25,000 subscribers, we demonetize ourselves with that story. This, my friends, is a review of those stories in Florida. We don't want to pick a favorite, but we must. The bylaws of the show require it. The New York guy arrested after joyriding in the pickup truck in the Florida surf. The Florida guy who racked up over $31,000 in charges on company cards to purchase scratch-off lottery tickets. The Half Moon Bay crash of the plane that, as it turns out, was a stolen plane piloted by a Miami guy. The Kangaroo caught hopping around the Florida apartment complex. The Florida man accused of breaking into yachts and then sneaking into a hotel room after stealing wine. The Florida woman who passes away after the surgical robot that was involved in over 20,000 reports of adverse events during surgery kills her because of an internal leak and a faulty part. The Florida guy who leads deputies on a 38-mile chase with 2 kids in the car. And finally, the Villages Hospital, the scene of the man who lifts his gown and jiggles his junk. Wow. It's a really prestigious group of entries this week. And Albert, I'll ask you quickly, there's voting going on in the chat right now?
Yeah, I try to keep it shorter with the names: truck surfing, wild kangaroo, yacht burglar, and the village jiggler, which I think people in the chat have been calling it the junk jiggler. Very, very good alliteration, chat. I see all of them.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll check in on what's ahead when we check back with you in a moment. We have to pick a favorite, as I say, and I'm going to ask you, Kim, to lead us off. Which story jumped out at you? Which one is your favorite?
Kim, how are you?
I have to agree with Wes. The mugshot and the hospital gown with the junk jiggler was too much. He gets my vote.
Wow.
For not only bringing the Villages into this, jiggling the junk,
They
the
jumped out at
hospital,
Yeah.
the hospital gown mugshot, all of the above, hands down winner of the day.
That's the Kim says he brings together a lot of great elements.
Yeah.
So the junk jiggler gets it. How about you, John Daly? What do you think?
Fabulous producer, John Daly.
Do like the wine theft from the yachts because I like a good caper, a good heist. But I have to go with the jiggling gigolo.
Wow, jiggling gigolo. Another alliterative offering from John Daly. Albert, how about you? What's your favorite?
Albert, thank you.
It's tough, but it's hard to not go with the jiggler. So it's
Kind of sounds like a Perry Mason case, like the case of the jiggling gigolo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm special shout out to the chat. They're having really a lot of fun with this one. So
Yes. Thank you to our chatsters. And what is the jiggler going running away with it in the chat?
yeah, 56% of the vote, and then truck surfing is second with 30.
There he goes.
Yeah, the
Down flapping in the wind.
He's jiggling all the way to the finish line. The jiggler sounds like a Batman villain. Says, "Well, that's exactly right."
Totally
This
does.
week, yes, Batman and Robin battle.
What happened? I was distracted.
No love for the kangaroo. Somebody asked. Jiggle all the way for me, says El Guevara. Wow. Yeah, I wish I could. I wish I could swim upstream against this one, but I think it's overwhelming. I'm going for the jiggler also. So congratulations, jiggler. Credit card guy. That Scott Rittenberg goes to the credit card guy. Let's get rich, Mark. Yeah, the guy who racked up over $31,000 to try to get lottery tickets. Yeah, but it's, I don't know. Jiggling geriatric. Oh, that's strong too, M. Oak. Wow. There were really a lot of opportunities for alliteration here, Albert.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, nicely curated. That's Friday Fabulous Florida for today.
This has been Friday Fabulous Florida.
There is a gigantic alligator in my kitchen.
Y'all come back now here.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell, you'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.